What the hell? Hooray for Hollywood! As A-list celebrities prepare for the Oscars, so do the hookers, as we reveal the sword side of the movie business. A booming trade in drugs and vice sees hundreds of young girls pour into LA to profit from the sex trade's biggest event. It's the most glamorous showbiz event of the year, with the biggest stars in the world descending on Hollywood to party and bag a coveted golden Oscar statue. TV cameras this weekend will beam images of A-listers such as La La Land's Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone to millions of homes around the globe as they walk down the red carpet at Los Angeles' Dolby Theater. But scratch beneath the surface, and it soon becomes clear that the Academy Awards has a side that is far darker than the glitzy version of the Hollywood scene in Gosling and Stone's Oscar-nominated musical. A booming trade in drugs and vice sees hundreds of young girls pour into LA to profit from the sex trade's biggest event. A former LAPD vice officer, Stephanie Powell, told The Sun, "Pimps know this is the time they can make a lot of money." Stephanie, who worked for the LAPD for 30 years and now runs the Journey Out project to help young girls escape the sex trade, said, "I once heard of a party on a private golf course where a tent was set up with girls in it to service men. Pimps flood the internet with scores of ads. They get their gals to work the hotel lobbies and bars. LAPD will have undercover officers doing jack shit. Girls can rake in $40,000 each in Oscars week. Those who have appeared in pornography command the highest fees as the wealthy look to fulfill their fantasies of betting a XXX star. Heidi Fleiss." Notorious Hollywood madam Heidi Fleiss ran Hollywood's most famous prostitution ring in the 1990s. And this guy gets plenty of hookers and all that. Hookers and coke, hookers and coke. Actor Charlie Sheen has done plenty of his share of hookers and coke. In the adverts, the 18-rated actresses boasted their film credits. One madame told his son how they can double their rates for Oscar weekend, knowing plenty of movie moguls will be prepared to part with the cash. Many openly offer confidentiality contracts for high-profile clientele in their advertisements. Pimps flood the internet with scores of ads. They get their girls to work the hotel lobbies and bars. And for Oscars weekend, their fees can almost double. Many set minimum rates of $800 an hour, going up to $6,500 for the whole night. Tips from super rich stars can take those figures even higher. A source said the top girls know how high the demand is that weekend, so they can afford to hike the prices up and be selective. More big names were in her contacts book, according to reports last year, including Johnny Depp. Another Hollywood madam, Michelle Braun, supplied some of the most expensive prostitutes in the world. Private Eye Dan Hanks, who helped bring down Hollywood madam Michelle Braun, explained, "The Hollywood machine is oiled by sex and drugs. It's all off the books, the whole thing. These people are paid cash. The Oscar parties will be arranged well in advance. No one wants their celebrity to have a Hugh Grant moment or anything, like when he was busted with that streetwalker. Sometimes the girls booked for the parties will be escorts. Sometimes they'll be porn stars. Other times they will be attractive young women who just came to Hollywood to make it, but it just hasn't happened." 2 years ago, an artist left a life-size statue of an Oscar statuette snorting cocaine on the Hollywood's Walk of Fame. These girls are paid to keep their mouths shut, and that's the cardinal rule. The parties happen at private houses, hotel suites, and clubs. A Hollywood madam, we'll call her Deborah. Oscars time is great. My girls can make $5,000 to $50,000. Parties are arranged well in advance. The girls' names all have to be on a super exclusive list for them to get in. Phones and cameras are an absolute no-no at any of these parties. This guy has nothing to do with the story. It just came months after the death of Oscar winner Philip Seymour Hoffman, who died from an overdose of illegal drugs. The Oscars red carpet is rolled out in Hollywood, ready for the 89th Academy Awards. I actually heard that was about blood or something. I don't know. I've heard of $20,000 tip from one star a couple of years ago, but the celebs very rarely have direct contact with pimps and madams. These girls are paid to keep their mouths shut. They tell their guy who tells another guy who phones a dude that keeps that guy in the know. There are layers and layers of barriers between the celebs and the bookings. But Oscars is like New Year's for these movie guys. It's the end of the year for them. If they're associated with any movie that's won, they're going to party hard. Deborah adds, working girls from Vegas also bus into LA to compete for some of that money. There's a lot of competition out among the escorts on Oscars night, but just like the Oscars, there are big prizes to be had. Notorious Hollywood madam Heidi Fleiss ran Hollywood's most famous prostitution ring in the 1990s. Charlie Sheen has admitted to being a client, and she also dated private saving Tim Sizemore. Trump, what's about Trump here? This year, Hollywood's liberals will look to protest against newly elected U.S. President Donald Trump. She's probably going to win. We're definitely going to see Meryl Streep win, because she clashed with him during her acceptance speech at the Golden Globes. So they want to really just, feed it in. More big names were in her contacts book, according to reports last year, including Johnny Depp and Star Wars director George Lucas. Although there is no suggestion those men were personally involved in hiring women. Fleiss, who served 20 months on a 7-year sentence for tax evasion, told The Sun, "I loved all those Oscar parties. They're full of a lot of single guys, and they want lots of pretty girls." Among Hollywood circles, the darker side of Tinseltown appears to be something of an open secret. 2 years ago, an artist who calls himself Plastic Jesus left a life-size statue of an Oscar statuette kneeling down to snort cocaine on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. Jimmy Kimmel has confirmed he will be hosting the ceremony. Emma Stone is nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress. A year earlier, he produced a similar stunt with an 8-foot statue seen appearing to inject heroin. The plaque read on its base, Hollywood's best kept secret. No, Hollywood's best kept secret is that. A year earlier, he produced a blah, blah, blah. All right, the striking image just came months after the death of Hollywood star and Oscar winner Philip Seymour Hoffman, who died from an overdose of illegal drugs in his New York apartment. And speaking anonymously to U.S. website Gawker in 2010, two of the area's cocaine dealers boasted of their ability to double their incomes during the Oscars. One revealed he expected five-figure profits. Casey Affleck is up for Best Actor for his performance in Manchester by the Sea. The stars gathered for a huge photo shoot. In recent years, officers have cracked down on drug use in the area, but sources insist the battle is far from over. Yeah, they haven't cracked down on anything. A source said this isn't about dodgy dealers and back alleys. This is a highly organized operation with months of planning. Nothing's left to chance. Stars in search of a good time will absolutely have no problem finding one. Elsewhere, this year's ceremonies promises to bring in it fresh complications as Hollywood liberals look to turn the event into a political protest against newly elected U.S. President Donald Trump. An insider explained, Oscar voting is kept strictly under wraps, but it's quite likely that some Academy members will use their votes to send a message to Trump. There's nothing they would like to see more than Meryl Streep win big after she and Trump clashed over her acceptance speech at the Golden Globes. A Muslim winner would be a big statement, too. Dave Patel has been widely praised for his role in Lion and is nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Kid critics give their unique take on the films battling to win at the Oscars. The added controversy could overshadow the star's movies and pose a very real danger. There are fears the politically charged atmosphere could invite extreme action. More than 1,000 cops are reportedly on duty, including crack marksmen who can hit a target with pinpoint accuracy from more than a mile away. A spokesman for the LAPD said, "The Oscars provide their own security internally. The LAPD is external, so we have enough officers deployed to handle any issues." Those LA cops will be hoping that Tinseltown's sex and drugs trade are the only illegal activities they will have to worry about this weekend.